Hi, I'm Jermaine Hill, Assistant Fire Chief of your Forest Park Fire Department, and we are the Firehouse Flashes. I have a couple special guests with me today from the Greenhills Fire Department. I have EMS Lieutenant Julie Sheets. How you doing, Julie?
I'm great. How are you?
Wonderful, wonderful. Glad to be before you today. And also from your Forest Park Fire Department, I have our Fire Marshal, Kerry Autio.
I'm glad to be here.
Hey, it's our pleasure, sir. All right, so today we're going to talk about fire prevention. We'll also discuss some other things going on in the community. Fire prevention. Most fires are preventable.
Absolutely.
Okay, if the buildings that we inspect, if they follow the proper codes, if when we're at home we follow simple rules like keeping the house clutter-free, making sure that they do annual inspections on their fireplaces, making sure that they have working smoke detectors. It matters. It really can affect lives. What does fire prevention mean to you?
For me, it's really just about if we can save one person or one family, having them be able to safely get out of the house. It's kind of surprising when you go and you talk to the preschoolers or the elementary age kids. They really do pick up on these safety lessons, and we always encourage them to go home and reteach the parents or the grown-ups in the house because we as adults, we forget things.
Absolutely.
And these kids are amazing. They really, truly just absorb the information and the safety lessons that we are teaching them. And, you know, it's just all about if they have a plan in place, if they can practice these safety things, it saves time for us. If they know their address, if they, you know, can just get the basic information out there to the dispatchers who can then get the information to us, it's all about saving the minutes and saving time and ultimately saving people's lives.
Kerry, we talked about some of the little things that you can do. Smoke detectors. What's the best practice for a smoke detector?
Smoke detectors, you want to test them once a week. You want to make sure that they're working, and you want to change the batteries twice a year. Best time to do it is when you change the clocks forward or back.
That's coming up.
And that's going to be November 5th this year.
Okay, all right.
So that's the best time to remember when to do that.
Okay, so change your batteries November 5th when time goes back. And then in the spring when time moves forward, we'll change them again. And you know, sometimes firefighters are the worst. If you change your battery every 6 months, not that it'll go bad in 6 months because it doesn't use a lot of electricity, but changing it every 6 months guarantees that you'll have a fresh battery in that detector.
Yes.
Oh, and don't forget too, if you go on vacation, make sure that you check that smoke detector when you come back because it could have been chirping, especially if you were, say, gone for like a week or 2 weeks. And when you get back, you know, it's still silent. It was silent before you left. And if you don't check it weekly or when you get back from that trip, I mean, it could have died while you were gone. So something to think about. All right, so we're going to talk about kitchen safety. But first, with the smoke detectors, how far should it be away from a stove?
At least 20 feet, because you don't want it going off every time, you know, something burns on top of the stove. Because if it keeps on going off, then you're going to be complacent about, you know, hearing the smoke detector and thinking, oh, somebody's cooking and, you know, somebody's burning toast or, you know, burning popcorn, and the emergency is there, but they're not thinking about it, and you could get in trouble.
Or even worse, I've had this a bunch of times where they'll just take the battery out the detector. You know, so that's you're running a risk by doing that.
Yeah, absolutely. You'll forget to put it back in.
And kids, don't use the smoke detector batteries for your remote controls because I've seen that as well.
Yes.
All right. You deserve lumps of coal for Christmas if you do that. All right, so let's see. When should we replace our smoke detectors?
About every 10 years. The lifespan of a detector is about 10 years because of the age and of the beams, inside of it. So want to do that.
And there's also, let's see, the 10-year smoke detectors where you don't have to do anything, but you put it in place. You wait for it to go bad in 10 years. Let's see. There's also a combination alarm where this like half smoke alarm, half CO alarm. Those the same thing. They're 10 years, 10-year expiration on them. And there's pros and cons to having them separate. There's pros and cons to having them together. I've read that the ones where they're the combo alarms aren't as sensitive as the ones if you buy the modules separately. So just something to consider when you're purchasing your smoke detectors and your CO detectors. Let's see. Speaking of carbon monoxide alarms, I have my notes here. Let's see. Digital displays. What do you think?
They're easier to read, so
Yeah.
anything that helps make it easier, for sure.
When that CO alarm goes off, if you don't have one with the display, and I get it, sometimes that's all we can do is get one without a display. Sometimes the stores are out of the ones with the digital displays, but it goes off, we have no idea how much CO is in the home. We have no idea. Let's see. Kerry, my CO alarm goes off. Should I go run and open up the windows and the doors?
First of all, you want to call the fire department.
Okay.
You want to get them coming to the house. It may just be where you mounted it. Sometimes if you mount it too close to the door to the garage, and you've been warming up the car in the garage, the CO might come in through the cracks of the door and set it off. So you don't know where it's coming from. So you want somebody coming to the house as soon as possible.
Yep. And if you open those doors and windows and the CO escapes, it makes it that much harder for us to figure out, like, where's the source? How much was in the home? How long were you exposed to it? Let's see. With your CO alarms, carbon monoxide is a gas that's lighter than air. So if you have the option of mounting it higher on the wall, please do so. If it's down low, it'll hit it, but it may take a little bit longer. And as Kerry had mentioned, you want to be wary of where you mount it, because if you put it too close to, say, the furnace, it's a gas furnace, after so many years, it could release small bits of CO that could get trapped in the alarm, and then after a while, it give you a false positive. So be careful where you mount your CO alarms. Higher on the wall is better. Replace it after 10 years, and don't forget you can get a combo CO alarm and smoke alarm. All right, this is a big one. There's a fire in the home or some type of emergency in the home. Escape plans. What do you think is best practice to have an escape plan?
Oh, absolutely. That's one of the first things that we teach the kids, even at the preschool level, is to, first and foremost, know multiple ways out of the house. So, know where your front door is, know where your back door is. Do you have a door to the garage, as you mentioned? Multiple ways out. If you can't get out a door, what's your other option? The window. We always caution kids, obviously, don't jump out the window, but, go to the window, wave at the firefighters, make yourself look really big, arms up, wave, holler really loud, because our sirens are loud as we're pulling up, and make sure the firefighters know that you're there, you're at the window, you need them to come in. So if you can't get out a door, the window is another option. Don't jump, just, go to the window and let the firefighters know that you're there. But be sure to practice this drill. Again, the adults in the house forget things, know. We get so busy with just life in general that we don't think about practicing these safety tips. But practice your emergency drills. We do a great job at the schools of doing our fire alarms and tornado drills and things like that. But we're home more than we are at school. So, just make sure that you're practicing at home. We also suggest having a safe meeting spot outside, whether that is a, tree in the backyard, your mailbox out front, maybe it's the neighbor's house. We offer a variety of suggestions of where you could go and meet up. And then if somebody from your family doesn't make it out of the house, then you can tell us, what bedroom is theirs, point to the window, that sort of thing. But we also encourage everybody, once you are out of the house, you stay out.
Stay out.
You never go back in the house. We also encourage to get all the people out of the house. Pets are very resilient and smart, and I know both of our departments, we carry pet oxygen masks. We just had a call a few months ago where we were able to save a dog with the oxygen masks and get treatment and things for them. So we love our pets, but get all the people out of the house first, and the firefighters will go in and get the pets.
Yes, absolutely. A practice escape plan along with the smoke detector, a working smoke detector, it increases your chances of survivability by like 75%.
Yeah.
So please, please, please have working smoke detectors, practice that escape plan. Definitely have more than one way out.
Absolutely.
Oh, and with the kids, you can time yourself. Like, so when I was younger and my kids were younger, we would blindfold ourselves.
Oh, wow.
And then we would make our way out the house, and then we'd time it, and then whoever won would get ice cream. So I made sure I dust the kids every time. Because I wanted that ice cream. Don't judge me.
And definitely practice too, the smoke, we always tell the kids that the smoke always rises. You
Yes.
mentioned that with the carbon monoxide and things like that. So the bad air is up high, so get down low,
Yes.
Get down low and crawl below that smoke. So practice that as well. Practice crawling out if you need to.
Exactly. Let's see. Fire Marshal, did we miss anything?
Well, going back to the part about the meeting place,
Yes.
you want to make sure that, everybody gets out there, because if somebody goes out the back door and the meeting place is in front, then somebody's worried that somebody is still in the house and they may want to go back in.
Absolutely.
But if everybody's out, then they can tell the firefighters when they get there that everybody's out of the house, and our concentration is first and foremost life safety.
Yep.
But if everybody's out of the house, then we can concentrate on putting the fire out.
Yeah, if we're fearful that someone is in the house, especially if it's a viable patient, we're going in. Even though the conditions may be bad, and we get that, we signed up to fight fire, but sometimes it's like we would be better off if we hit it from the outside first before we went in. But if there's a family member, your family member's inside, we're going in. We're putting ourselves sometimes in unnecessary harm's way. And with the kids, like especially, typically the smoke and the heat will get you before the fire gets you. So for all the kids, the students that are watching, if you get out, please, please, please stay out. We're not worried about shoes. We're not worried about video games, PS5s. And if your family member is trapped inside, if you're outside to tell us that they're in that room, like Lieutenant Sheet said, then we can concentrate our efforts that way. But if you go back in and then you go down, now we have 2 patients instead of 1. So if you get out, stay out. Please practice those escape plans. All right, we're moving right along.
Also thinking about in a business.
Oh, yeah.
If you go to a movie theater
Yes.
and you've come in that door into the theater, start looking for a second way out.
Yes.
Because, the normal thought is, I'm going to go out the same way I came in. But everybody else is going to think that too. And there's going to be a crowd at the exit.
Yep.
And so you get a bunch of people trying to get out the exit. If you know where other exits are, then you can get out and help people out.
Oh, and in commercial fire, since you mentioned the movie theater, most employees get injured at those commercial fires because when they hear the alarms, instead of trying to get out safely, they try to figure out what the problem is. You hear that alarm, please get your tail out of that building and don't go back in. Call 911 and we'll take care of you. All right, so let's see. Cooking safety. The holidays are coming up. Everybody's gonna be in the kitchen. Even some of those that shouldn't be in the kitchen, burning the sweet potatoes, destroying the turkey. Read your directions. Lieutenant Sheets, what can you tell us? What are some ways that we can stay safe in the kitchen?
First and foremost is to have a 3-foot rule around the stove. So, just kind of block off that area. If you have to put tape on the floor, whatever you got to do, make sure that the kids know that that's the safety zone, 3 feet around the stove. If you're cooking on top of the stove, make sure your pan handles are inside, not outside, where they might accidentally get knocked off. We always tell the kids, if you're baking cookies, wait for them to cool off before you eat them. Don't touch that hot pan. Let the grown-ups do that. That's what the hot pads are for. We have those safety things in place. So always let the grown-ups do the cooking. You can help. You can stir the cookie dough, but when it comes to the hot stuff, that's the grown-ups' job.
Fire Marshal, what can you add? How can we stay safe?
Well, one of the big things that people use now is air fryers.
Okay.
And people will actually put them on like the glass top stoves.
Okay.
And one of the biggest problems is if they get it back far enough, it may bump the burner knobs in and turn the burners on.
Okay.
And you're gonna have a fire potential there.
Okay.
So you wanna keep it off of the stove and, use it safely.
Okay. So yeah, definitely watch those turkey fryers and the air fryers as well. Let's see. Number 1 cause of house fires in the United States, cooking. Smoking is number 2, so don't smoke. If you do smoke, smoke outside the house. But be careful with that cooking. Don't leave food unattended when you're frying. If you're using an oven, use a timer, please, please, please. I think, let's see what else. Same with boiling, stand there in the kitchen, try not to use the phone, and I'm just as guilty. We have a TV in the kitchen, and if the Bengals score, I forget everything else that I'm doing. Or if they lose the ball, I forget everything that I'm doing, and I'm punching the air instead of watching my grits or something that I'm cooking or frying.
Yeah. Definitely pay attention,
Yes,
for sure.
absolutely, absolutely. Let's see. Safety during the holidays. Fire Marshal Autio. What's up with the extension cords? What's a good cord to use? Extension cord versus power strip. Educate the public. Tell us what can we do?
Power strips are the best
Okay.
to use, especially directly coming out of the outlet.
Okay.
You can use extension cords. You're going to have to sometimes use extension cords, but plug them into the power strip, because if something goes wrong, it'll stop at the power strip. The lights, if you have several strands of lights on the tree, now, they piggyback one end to the next. But any time that you have several strands of lights on a larger tree, you want to try to plug everything into the power strip.
Absolutely. What about space heaters?
Space heaters, everybody's going to use them. A lot of people use them. You want to keep at least 3 feet away from the space heaters.
Okay.
Sometimes kids have slumber parties, and they have a space heater. You don't want to get the pillows of bedding too close to the space heater, or it's going to catch fire.
I had a son. I guess I didn't stress the 3-foot rule to him enough. He was playing video games, and the space heater was right behind him. And then I went into his room. His coat was smoking. So I had to snatch it off of him, stomped it out, because he should have been playing video games to begin with. I'm not trying to break character here, but he should have been listening. But he was playing video games with his coat on. So took his coat off, stamped it. He was like, "What are you doing?" I said, "Your coat was on fire." He's like, "No, I said, "Look," and held it up. He said, "Oh, man, well, can I finish my video game?" I said, "No, downstairs." That's a true story. Oh, let's see.
Can I add one more safety tip for the holidays?
Absolutely.
If you have a live Christmas tree, sometimes we forget to water those, and that's not a good thing because it dries out the needles. And then if you have the lights on, those can heat up just a little bit and could potentially cause a fire as well. So just make sure that you are definitely watering your tree every so often. Make sure that you were taking care of that. Do not leave the lights on overnight. I know it's super pretty, but definitely if you're not awake, if you're not observant, just like in the kitchen, then definitely make sure you're turning those lights out at night so that way you're safe overnight as well.
Absolutely.
And if you're leaving the house, don't leave them on, make sure you turn them off before you leave the house, and then you can turn them back on when you get home.
Right.
And I want to piggyback off something that you said, Kerry, about if you have friends and families over, like you're having sleepovers and everything, that's very important for you to have that escape plan posted and to discuss it with your kids' company. So everything hits the fan, we're out the house, we're going to be at Mr. Johnson's car, we're going to be at the tree out front or something, so that everybody knows that plan.
Also,
yes,
we
ma'am.
like to light candles this time of year. Oh my gosh, the smells, right? Pumpkin and apple and all those different things. So just make sure if you are burning candles, again, don't leave them unattended. Certainly don't leave your house, as you mentioned, and forget to blow out the candles. You can even use, flameless candles now, or battery-operated candles, or just different things like that. But if you are using ones with the wonderful scents of the seasons that we like, just make sure that you do blow those out before you leave the room, before you leave your house, before going to bed.
Absolutely.
And some people will have them on the nightstands. And if you fall asleep with the candles and the pillow gets a little bit close to the candle, then it could be problematic.
Yeah. We've had 2 big fires in Forest Park that were started by candles. And I think one, the person was asleep and the candle was still going. And the other one, I think the person left the house and didn't realize that the candle was still burning. Yeah. So on a personal note, we stopped using candles. Well, we may use a candle, say if we're in the kitchen and we have like a small candle right there. But there was one Thanksgiving, and I just happened, it's like my son had just happened to be like near the area. We had a small candle in the bathroom, and for whatever reason, it exploded. Like the glass broke and the wall was starting to catch.
Oh, wow.
And then my son, the infamous video game player next to the the space heater, he ran outside. He was like, "Dad, the candle's on fire," and I'm dead serious. I was like, "What?" And so I ran in and I saw, like, "Oh shoot!" So put the fire out because it was starting to go up the wall a little bit. Called 911, had Cincinnati come check it out, and luckily, it wasn't bad. Like it didn't get deep seated into the wall, but it was like the weirdest thing. Mm-hmm. So from that, we stopped using candles like that. Yeah. All right. I have on my notes turkey fryers. Want to do a deep dive into turkey fryers?
Turkey fryers, it's a popular thing. The problem is people get a little bit lackadaisical about when they're cooking turkeys. You don't want to overfill it with the oil.
Right.
Because one of the biggest problems is it bubbles over and it catches on fire. You want to make sure that the turkey is thawed completely.
Yes.
Before you start dropping it in.
Mm-hmm.
You want to make sure that you have a fire extinguisher near.
Yes.
So that if you do have a fire, you can immediately put it out, and you're going to want to call 911. Mm-hmm. Don't use it on a wooden deck.
Yes.
Some of the problems with some of the apartments have had major fires because not only cooking with turkey fryers, but just grills, charcoal grills on the deck too. Mm-hmm. It'll catch the wood on fire, the deck on fire, and spread to the house. Mm-hmm. So you just want to be very careful. Don't ever leave it cooking and walk away. You're watching the Bengal game.
Yep.
And you get excited because they're driving down, and all of a sudden, you got a problem with the turkey fryer. You want to pay attention to the fryer while you're cooking. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. All right, so let's see. kids and pets near the turkey fryer.
Keep them away.
Yes.
That
Keep 'em away.
3-foot rule, same as in the kitchen.
And that oil stays hot for such a long time. It is definitely a burn hazard. And let's see, if you're picking it up, use well-insulated pot holders or oven mitts. Don't burn your fingers. Because we're 911, but we want to eat food that day too. We don't want to come to your house because you burned your fingers. We want to come to your house because you're offering cranberry sauce. Are you guys cranberry sauce fans? Do you like the canned cranberry?
The real or the can?
I like the real. I like the Kroger real cranberry sauce. Shout out to Kroger, Forest Park Kroger. All right, let me stay on topic. Let's see. All right, Fire Marshal Autio. You are new to Forest Park, but you've been a fire marshal, an inspector. You've been many positions in the fire service. What's the importance of the fire inspections? Because some businesses, they're happy to see us when we come in. Some are like, oh, goodness gracious, you're back again. Why are the fire inspections so important?
You want to keep the businesses safe,
Absolutely.
just as important as safety at the home. You want to keep it safe for not only the employees, but the customers. If you, and I've had that, where they're like, hey, we're ready for you this year. They kind of like get excited, but then there are times when they're like, oh my gosh, here again. And you just want to make sure that they operate their businesses safely.
Yes. You got to protect your human resource. That's your most important part of your business, your human resources. In order for you to stay, to keep it continuous and to keep that money coming in or whatever your venture is, you have to stay within the code. Like those codes are there for a reason. Something happened, usually change follows tragedy. So something tragic happened, those codes are put in place. That same or a different business owner also thought, that's never gonna happen to me. Yes, it can happen to you too if you're not careful. So hug, high five your fire marshal, your firefighters. We love it, we need it, and we're trying to keep you safe. All right, so we talked about fire safety stuff. What's going on in Greenhills? What you got coming?
Oh, this time of year, everybody is probably familiar, if you are a resident of Greenhills, those bright green envelopes that show up on your door in October and early November for our annual turkey raffle fundraiser. Those tickets are $2 each, or all 20 tickets for $20, so that's your better bargain. So if you decide to purchase those, each firefighter is assigned a certain street or multiple streets, basically their turkey raffle route is what we call it. But they will have a date and time listed on the front of that envelope as to when they will be back to pick it up. You can also, if you don't have it ready at the time, if like your paycheck just isn't, falls every other week or something like that, and it doesn't work for you to purchase them at the time, we have a drop-off box at the station, the 11,000 Winton Road address. There's a drop box with a turkey raffle emblem on the box. You can drop your tickets off there. The event this year, we are not doing in person. We actually found, if COVID had a good thing to it, right? We actually found that the virtual event that we had to hold in 2020 requires less work, and why not, right? Why not do a little less work for the same revenue, So we are doing it virtually this year on Saturday the 18th at 7 p.m. You can join us on a Facebook Live. Should be about an hour or so, and at that time we will announce each route winner. There will be one or two turkeys, aka Kroger gift cards.
Okay.
Right? So years ago we used to have the live turkeys, and then it was the frozen turkeys and that sort of thing. But again, technology. So
Did you say you had live turkeys?
years ago, back in the day, that was back before my time on the department. They used to auction off live turkeys. So we've come a long way, right? But each route does have a $20 Kroger gift card winner, again, one or two per route, depending on the size of the route. And then we also have 3 cash prizes. So we will be announcing those winners on the live event. Also, something that we started a few years ago and has been an awesome addition, and it gets everybody super excited, is our raffle basket auction.
Okay.
So it's basically like a silent auction, but it's all online. So if you go to our Greenhills FD annual turkey raffle Facebook page, that is where all of those baskets will be. We'll have them probably about a week in advance. You can start bidding on them, but then the night of the live event, we will close the auction at 7:30. So we have time to determine who the winners are, how much they purchased it for, and then be able to announce all those winners as well. And then we'll have pickup in the next few days after that at the station. Unbelievably, this year we have had so many donations come in.
Okay.
Last year we had 32 raffle baskets up for bid, and I am just amazed. We have over 50 raffle baskets available this year. Wide variety of things from local businesses, members of the department who have donated, friends and family of the department who have donated. We can't thank our supporters enough for their donations, as well as anybody who would like to bid and win these baskets. I've got my eye on a couple myself.
Well, that sounds like I need to buy a raffle ticket.
You sure
or
do.
10.
You sure do.
Well, that was very detailed. You've done this a couple times before, haven't
Quite a
you?
few times. Quite a few times. 20 years, in fact. So, yeah.
That's a lot of turkey raffle routes.
Yes. Get your steps in when you're walking those routes.
That's right.
It's a win-win.
All right, so my memory is not as good as Miss Julie's. So we have our We Thrive fundraiser, our flagship fundraiser for our We Thrive team, the 70s versus 80s Get Down. And it's an old school hip hop, R&B, rock party where we get decked out in the flyest threads from the 70s and 80s. And we just vibe out to some cool music. We do line dancing, we got the 70s, 80s stuff going on. We have door prizes, we have raffle baskets.
Your costumes, they're
yeah, it's awesome.
Elaborate.
We're gonna have it on I think we're gonna make a reel and put it on the Forest Park website just so people can get a taste. But it will be November the 11th from 8 to 11 at the Forest Park Senior Center. And let's see, the price is $25 for a single, $40 for a couple. Or last year we started letting people purchase tables for $125, and it's like 8 or more people. That's by far the most economical option. And I mean, people decked out their tables. They had like velvet covers on them. They had plants. They had, their food. It's like, we have food, but you can bring your own food as well. I mean, it was a great time. So this year we're going to judge tables. We're going to give prizes to the flyest afro, the best threads, the best couple, and we're going to throw a couple other things in there too. We're going to do a celebration for hip hop because hip hop turned 50 years old this year. And let's see. All of the proceeds, they go back to the community. They go back to our We Thrive team for us to do educational resources, for us to do clothes drives, toy drives, for us to do the free fitness classes in the spring and summer. So that money, it goes towards it. So come on out. It's a great time. If you guys are bored, November 11th, come check us out. We'll be at the Senior Center from 8 to 11. If you have any questions, give me a call, 513-595-5291. That's 513-595-5291. Or you can you can email me at jermaineh@forestpark.org. That's JermaineH@forestpark.org. I was named after Jermaine Jackson. Y'all know who that is? Michael Jackson's brother.
Seriously?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
He's Jermaine Lawan Jackson. I'm Jermaine Lawan Hill.
Look at you. You're almost as famous.
My aunt thought he was cute. If she thought Tito was cute, I'd be Tito Hill.
That would work too.
I guess
I'm
so.
going to start calling you Tito.
There we go. All right, well, guys, do you have anything else to add about fire safety, turkey raffle?
Just have a great holiday season. Have a safe holiday season. That's what's so important.
Yes.
Spend time with your friends, your family. Just get together and make wonderful memories and do it safely. That's why we're out and about here in October doing all these safety lessons, because we want you to have a wonderful, memorable holiday season.
Yes. Kerry, anything to add?
Just, bouncing off her, it is, want to be, have a safe season. We are there to help.
Okay.
We are there to be, if you need us, but we'd rather you enjoy the season, enjoy a safe holiday season.
Okay. Kerry, if anybody from the public wants to get in touch with you, how can they do it?
You can call me at 513-595-5271 or Autio, it's Kautio at forestpark.org.
Lieutenant Sheets, Firefighter Julie's what they call her.
That's what they call me. The kids at the Greenhills Co-op preschool coined me that quite a few
That's
years
right.
ago, and literally you'll be around the community and you hear Firefighter Julie, which is pretty awesome. Almost feel like a superhero sometimes,
You are a superhero.
but it's I'm out there doing the thing, right? Doing that sort of thing. Probably the easiest way to reach me is at jsheets@ghfd.org. That is my official fire department email. You can always call the station and leave a message there too, and the chiefs will make sure that I get it. I'm happy to do whatever you need me to do. We're out and about in the community, and if there's something we can help with, we're happy to do it.
You're super active on social media. How can we find you?
So just follow the fire department at Greenhills Fire Department. Follow that. And then also, if you're interested in our annual turkey raffle fundraiser, again, that one is Greenhills FD Annual Turkey Raffle. So we have 2 pages. We just try to keep the turkey raffle its own thing, just not to bog down our main site. But if you want to follow our main site, see what we're doing out and about in the community. We share motivational tips, highlights, just things that we're doing as firefighters and EMTs. And again, that's Greenhills Fire Department on Facebook.
All right. And of course, you can look us up too at City of Forest Park Professional Firefighters on Facebook. We have a bunch of new stuff coming out, coming down the pike. So I think that's it.
So can I just say thanks to Jermaine this year too? Again, COVID had caused some issues for us in being able to get out and do our educational opportunities with the students. And this year we were able to partner together as the 2 departments. We have such an awesome mutual aid agreement. And it's not just on fires or EMS calls. This year we were able to partner with our fire safety and to be able to literally talk and teach every single student in the Winton Woods School District.
Yes.
So that was amazing, and I want to thank you and everybody from your department for assisting in that too. We have beautiful new school buildings and a lot more students than we're used to handling in Greenhills. So it was very nice to be able to partner together and make that happen.
Oh, and it's not over.
No,
So-
it's not over. We still have this week. We still
got
have this week.
and we have the restart of the firefighter fitness drill.
Yes.
So we're looking to start that hopefully in November and then do it again in the spring. And that'll be just in time for us to do like spring and summer safety.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then we'll have the Kiwanis Safety Fair. And I know we'll have something else with Greenhills going on.
For sure.
And then we'll have the concerts. And then rinse and repeat, baby. We just do it again, all over.
Yeah. That's where that years of experience come in.
That's right. That's right. So Julie, thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule, your busy schedule.
Thank you for inviting me.
It's always a pleasure. Always our pleasure. Kerry, I didn't eat yet. You ready to go eat?
Let's go.
All right, Forest Park, we love you. We are the Firehouse Flashes. This is just the first installment. We're going to have some more coming to you. And until then, be safe during these holidays. We love you. And I want to see you at the Get Down. And Waycross Media, they're going to put a big old flyer on the screen for you to see. Come on out. It's a great time. It's not just a normal time. It's a great time. All right. Love y'all. Take care.